Chase, congratulations. I can only imagine your goal is to get on the podium, eventually win races, but did you think it would happen this early in the season?
To be honest, no. I last week I got an 8th, and I wasn't really happy with that. But I was shooting tonight for top 5, and I was riding 6th the whole moto, and made 2 passes, and I was ridden 4th, and then Adam ended up crashing, and that was like 2 laps to go, and I was set up for a podium, and I was just trying to get through those 2 laps, and I'm really happy to come away with the podium.
Joey, you said in your interview after the race that you felt like you were in a familiar situation and sort of like what happened in Toronto, but here you just made different decisions and kind of tamed it down. Is that a more of a championship mentality, and maybe tonight just wasn't the night and decided to kind of just back it off one little bit?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I've made mistakes in the past, maybe doing obstacles or doing things that I necessarily didn't need to do. And tonight was one of them. I felt like I was riding as fast as I could, comfortably, and Aaron was obviously faster. And once he caught up and made the pass, I tried to stick with him for a little bit. Caught lappers at a bad spot, and then he kind of got away from me. And from there, like you said, just learning from mistakes in the past. I could have tried to go after him, but the track was brutal tonight, so try to minimize the mistakes and come out of here with good points and keep moving.
Aaron, congratulations on the win and the points lead. You got a pretty bad start and we're buried, and I know those first couple laps was a little bit wild. How did you get through the guys? I mean, we didn't really see you, I guess, for the first 3-4 laps, but you got through them pretty decently. How were those first few laps?
The first few laps were pretty crazy. I'm not sure how I managed to get all the way up through there, but like on lap 3, the only thing I knew, I was in like 5th or 6th place, and I was catching these guys pretty significantly, and I just put my head down and charged forward, and this track was really really sketchy, and I just made some good passes and had some good lines, but these guys were riding great. It was just my kind of track.
Long legs.
All right, this is for all 3 of you. Joey and Aaron, you kind of both alluded to this. The track was really rough. In every way, it was pretty much completely different than what you guys faced last week with dirt and the way the lanes were. Can you just kind of talk a little bit more about how that challenged you? Because it went away really fast. It never was really hard and solid the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, every lap was different. I think that's the hard thing about having soil like this that deteriorates so quickly. Last weekend it was pretty much, I'd say, the same all day. It had that hard base, but the lines pretty much from first practice to the main event were all the same. And today we started off maybe doing some different rhythms or taking one side of the whoops and then having to move to the other. And then, last time practice, we had a giant V down the middle before the set, before the finish line. So it's always changing, but track was tough. And I mean, like I said, it's just every lap's different. So that's always something in the back of your mind. The line that worked last lap might not work again the next lap. And that's just something you got to keep your eyes open for.
I just try to pick smooth lines and kind of ride different lines than what everybody else was riding. And I don't know, I just had to go lap by lap. And like Joey said, it changed throughout the whole main event, throughout the whole day, actually. And it was just crazy. You had to keep your eyes peeled and keep on your toes pretty much.
Yeah, I'm pretty new to this, so it's the track I thought was pretty good. It was really challenging for me, and going through the whoops every lap was you had to be on your toes every lap, and it was tough. I thought the track was pretty good, and I got a good flow going at the end of the race. So I'm happy with the track, and I'm learning every weekend. So.
Brad Gebhardt, Big MX Radio. It's mainly for Aaron, but the two of you else can also chime in on it. There was a triple on that first lane that you were connecting with pretty much throughout Maine as well as in the heat races. Why did you continue with that lane that most people abandon? And for the other two, why did you abandon it?
I don't know. You're talking about after the sand. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. I didn't hit it all day, and I went up in the stands after my heat race, and my dad just told me it was a smooth line and a good different change up pretty much, and I just did it once, and it was way smoother than double double double. So I just kept doing it.
For me, especially at the beginning of the race, I had pressure. So for me, it was more protecting my insides. Obviously, if I ended up on the right side, it would leave the door open, and I think if anyone knows not to leave the door open, it should be me. So it's just protecting my inside lines, which kind of didn't help me. Made a lot of my turns turn into like an upside down V almost. But it's either that or leave the door open for someone to come to the inside. So for me, it was defensive, just trying to protect my insides, but also kind of stay in a rhythm, which is not very easy to do, but that's why I didn't do it.
Yeah, I actually didn't know anyone was doing that line until Aaron passed me, and I was kind of just at that point just trying to hit my marks, and I just kept sticking with them with double, and I feel like I set my corner up pretty good, but yeah, I honestly didn't know anyone was doing it until Aaron did it, and I just pretty much just stayed with my line the whole moto.
Aaron, could you explain the line you had in the whoops? You were basically just jumping through them in 3 hops.
Yeah, so I I actually figured that in the main too. I came around, I think it was the 3rd lap, and I just kind of sent it into him because, I was so far behind. I don't know. I just had to try everything I could. So, yeah, I just wheel tapped 2 in, and then I think I 5'd after that and then 4'd out. So it was pretty fun line.
I was wondering what you were doing.
Yeah. I saw it.
That was fast. That was
Could have let me know.
Aaron, I saw something a little unusual that you were doing on the gate. On the metal grids, I haven't seen anybody pack dirt under their back wheel. On the 250s, is it almost too much traction with the grid?
I don't know. As you can tell, it obviously didn't work for me. I got off to a pretty bad start, so I don't know if it works or not.
Will you do it again?
I think maybe. I don't know. We got to try everything, so.
For Chase, this is only your 2nd ever Supercross race, so this is a pretty quick progression. Is it coming as easy as you expected, or did you think it was going to be a little bit more difficult?
To be honest, I kind of expected to be pretty good this season. From last year, I crashed in Atlanta, and it was tough. But this off season for me was really good, and I felt really good coming into the season. And like I said, last weekend wasn't what I was hoping for, so I went back to work this week, and yeah, I'm just happy to get on the podium. And I think it happened a little faster than I thought, but I'm happy I got it out of the way now.
Joey, I know you were frustrated with the starts last week, so just how happy are you? Did you change something specifically? Because they really turned around for sure this time.
No, I'm usually a good starter just for whatever reason. I think last weekend I lined up a little bit too far inside, and that was mainly because I didn't want to be to the outside of everybody, But the rut after the gate was pretty bad, and I felt like this weekend the rut I picked was pretty good afterwards, not a lot of bumps. So I felt like as long as I had the forward momentum coming out of the gate and had a good drive, I'd be able to shut everyone down on my inside. So, that's kind of the game plan that we went with. I'm sure if RC was here, he would have lost his mind because he's always a guy who's always inside. But I think it changes race by race. And, today was I went outside everybody, but my gate was good. So that's kind of how you had to roll with it, I guess.
Chase, you had quite a battle with your teammate there for a while in the main. Describe that.
Yeah, at the beginning of the race, I was kind of having a hard time finding my rhythm, and actually everyone kind of pulled away from me, and I was just trying to find different lines. And I middle of the race, I started reeling Christian a little bit, and I was honestly just kind of waiting for the right time, and I found a new line, the rhythm section before the finish line, and I went outside and got around him, and I actually ended up passing Shane right after that. So I was kind of surprised I got both of them in the same section, but yeah, it was good. I was having fun racing out there.
Hey guys, Brent with Solution MX. There's been a lot of changes as far as format goes, metal starting grids, and then the Triple Crown. Are there any changes that you guys would like to see in the future of the sport?
I don't know. This year they, yeah, maybe I can get a whole shot then.
All
No.
ruddy tracks,
Huh?
Aaron?
Do I?
All ruddy tracks?
Yeah, that would be nice.
It's the East Coast.
But no, I think the changes are good. I think they made quite a few changes this year, which are it will switch it up a little bit. But I think this will keep us pretty switched up for the next few years. So don't make any more changes.
I'm Lynn Beckwith with Radio with Roost, Outdoors with Wheels. One of the things I see consistently with you guys are smiles on your face, and it's really fun as we're in the stands or down in the safety hold, just imagining the grin on your face under your helmets. Is that true? Or is it just such intense competition at that point that even the smiles go away?
I'd say that's probably more truthful. At least for me, I don't think I'm smiling. Obviously, when you're up here, you had a pretty good night, so it's a lot easier to smile. But when the helmets are on, I think it's a little bit different. Helmets come off, you're off the track. I feel like it's a little bit different, at least for me.
Yeah, I think sometimes we're smiling. I mean, every time we go out there, we look to have fun, and that's kind of the most important part of this sport is having fun. And I mean, I'd like to say I'm smiling every time I put my helmet on, but I know that's not true. But I mean, a lot of the times we're riding, we're definitely having fun.
Yeah, like Aaron said, I mean, every time you get on your dirt bike, it's fun, and I love what I do. But once you put that helmet on me, the smiles come off. But I can say that whole last lap when I knew I was in third, I was smiling the whole way. But yeah, no, it's definitely serious once the gate drops. But once we come off, it's a little more. I don't know what you say. We were a little happier.
Well, do you feel appreciated by these full stands and all of the excitement we've had here in Houston for you?
Absolutely. It's something that I think everyone at some point in time needs to step back and look at. If it wasn't for the fans filling up the stands, we would be racing in an empty stadium, and then pretty soon we wouldn't be racing. Bottom line is the fans pay for tickets and they pay for merchandise and food, and they're the ones who bring in the revenue for us to be able to do what we love to do. So definitely the fans are bigger than what they think they are. Like I said, without them we wouldn't be racing. So.
Well, you're very appreciated.
All right, this is for Joey and Aaron. Both of you guys have been at this for quite a while, and only really in the last 2 years have been solid championship contenders. Is that just something that you have to learn with experience? Because it seems like the era of some young kid coming in and just cleaning house is over.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's not that it was easy to do a couple of years ago, but I mean, experience goes a long way, and when you come in and you're a rookie, you think you know what you're doing, and you don't, unfortunately. So I think as time goes and mistakes are made and everything else, you learn, obviously. But no, as far as someone coming in and cleaning house, I'd like to think I wouldn't let that happen. Honestly, I'd be pretty upset. But it's a lot of fast guys coming up, but there's also a lot of experienced guys as well. So I think it's definitely a lot harder than what people think.
Yeah, I don't. In this class, I don't see that happening anytime soon. But you never know; anything can happen in this sport. But yeah, I would like to team up with Joey and not let that happen. No, I think I've learned so much. I'm still learning, and I'll continue to learn. And yeah, every time I get out on the track, I'm learning, and it's not easy now. It wasn't easy then, and I don't think it'll get any easier.
You guys do realize there's a rookie right next to you.
Yeah, but see, we made sure he didn't beat us. At least this weekend.
Yeah, that's very true.
We got to try to keep it that way, because if he comes through and wins, then everything we just said is out the window. So
Hear that,
Gotta
Chase?
make sure that don't happen.
Yeah, I hear it.